Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your daily indoctrination broadcast here on the Black Blaze Gaming Channel. Cass and I are here to do another raid on the DOJ, and as usual, no new Epstein updates, because the Department of Justice is cringe. Instead, they're doing probes into, I don't know, fucking people who hate Trump, I guess.
Yeah.
But, something I did want to talk about today. I haven't really brought this up much. I think we've mentioned it before on stream a while back, but I didn't really go too deep into it. So there was a recent thing that happened with some VTuber who discovered that in Warframe there is a pregnant Warframe, and of course she thought it was weird, as a lot of people do. Not everybody. A lot of people. The Warframe community is generally very accepting of new things that are added to Warframe, and that's fine. I think the community for Warframe is largely decent. But then there's people.
It seems like the community's pretty cool, but
yeah, I would say particularly the community is decent. Like out of game, I'm kind of lukewarm on them in game in certain cases. I generally do solo missions, or missions with friends, but yeah, I saw some discussion about that because, of course, people, if you've been on the internet longer than a year, let's say, you've probably encountered the fact that there are some very strange people out there with some very strange fetishes, and so naturally, when a pregnant Warframe gets added to the game, people are going to look at it like, and now,
why does it exist?
Yeah, so now there's backlash to the backlash, because people are saying, well, anybody who's turning this into a sexual thing is self-reporting. I don't care. And I'm like, turning it into a sexual thing by claiming it could be fetish related? That's not turning it into a sexual thing. That's knowing how the internet is, how people are, and being concerned and side-eyeing anything. Because it's like, look at it like this, right? If you meet a Khajiit role player in Elder Scrolls Online, you know you're playing with fire, right? Like, nobody can be stupid enough. Like, maybe you can be naive, right? You can be naive and not think about it because it's not something that's not a part of the internet that you really engage with because there's weird shit out there. But, like, you know that it's not that people being, cautious around anthropomorphic animal role players, that is not them sexualizing it, right? It's that they know that tends to happen, so they're being careful.
Because furries?
Like, and I'm not, and nothing against my Khajiit role player homies, right? My main in ESO is a Khajiit. I have roleplayed him. I have ERP'd on him. It has happened. I'm not gonna hide that. Definitely has happened. It was always for story purposes. It was never for fapping or gooning or anything like that. And I would say that my character's not really a self-insert. He's absolutely similar to me in certain ways, but I don't project myself onto him, and he has very different values than me. But yeah, like, none of it has to do with the fact that a cat person. It's never been that for me. And I have nothing against people who are into that. It is harmless as long as you're not abusing actual animals. It's a harmless thing to be into. Whatever, people just put it so out there in front of other people that didn't ask to see it. And the first Khajiit role player that I actually really engaged with did one of the most horrific things to my character in roleplay that I will not. I can't even talk about it on stream. I can't give details. It is that fucked, and I did not consent to that. I was playing along with things because it was they were going into some interesting lore stuff that I didn't know about because I was really new to the game. Or really new to the lore. I played the game for a while, but I didn't really know anything about Elder Scrolls lore. And so I was like I literally had UESP open on my other monitor, fact checking the stuff that they were doing. So I didn't know this was a thing. But it got gross fast, real fast and real bad. And Cass knows it. Salva knows it. I've told them all the story. Don't want to dox this person. Because it's like, you do you, man. But it's like, I just met you. Like, I don't know anything about you. What? I wasn't even on my Khajiit. I was on a Breton.
Mm-hmm.
A Breton I no longer have, actually. I'm pretty sure.
A Breton that is now Stampy Boogston, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I placed her with, or like redid her as Stampy of the Boogston.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dallas is getting zapped. But yeah, and then people are saying like, oh well, if you've played the story of the Jade Shadows, you know that it's not a fetish thing. And I'm like, what are you talking? How does that make it not possible to be a fetish thing? Like, so it's spoilers, by the way. The story of Jade Shadows is that basically there was a royal guard of the Orokin and an Orokin woman who, I'm pretty sure it was an Orokin woman, who they were in a relationship which was forbidden, and she had gotten pregnant, which is extra forbidden. As punishment, Ballas, the big bastard of the story, had them both turned into Warframes. And because of the way the Warframe creation process functions, Jade's Warframe ended up being like still retaining like the sort of elements that you would associate with being pregnant, right? Like she's had the pregnant belly and all that, and she like weirdly like her animations like have her like rubbing her belly like she's actually a pregnant person. It's fucking weird. But what I want to point out about the story is that nothing about that has anything to do with whether or not it could have originated from fetish content or fetish interests. Because, and I'm not saying that it does, but the thing is that the story is just like very bare bones, classic, heavy-handed. Like, how do we make the Orokin look more evil? Let's have them torture a pregnant woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all it is. It doesn't do anything really particularly unique or interesting. It doesn't do anything that's specifically unique to Warframe per se. Because it's not like, if you know Warframe lore really well, which I know it fairly well, nothing about the lore has ever like given me the impression that, oh, there would have had to have been a pregnant Warframe somewhere along the line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't build up to this. Like we knew that, like, to a certain extent, there was probably some regulations around who could marry who or who could reproduce and stuff like that, due to things like continuity and various issues with the lore and all that. But yeah, nothing about that is like, because they turn people who are viable warriors into Warframes, right? Not
Why would a
pregnant
be
people.
viable? Yeah.
And I get that it was done for torture. I get that it was done to make them into an example because they broke the laws. But there's plenty of other like ways that they can punish people who break Orokin law, and they've done plenty of other things to people who have broken Orokin law. This isn't the only thing. Like, it just seems so... It seems to me, like, the way it reads, the way the story feels to me, and I'm not saying the story's bad, but the way the story feels to me is that it's a contrivance to justify the existence of a pregnant Warframe design that someone made. Not that they had this really interesting story and it led them to creating the idea of a pregnant Warframe. It feels like it was the other way around. That's all I'm saying. There's no way you can say that absolutely, definitely never was ever a fetish thing. Or even, like, you can even say it was a feminist thing. Like, we don't have enough pregnant representation in media. Let's have a pregnant Warframe. It could have been that too, honestly. And not that that's necessarily even a bad thing. It's just a Warframe, right? Like, look at who came out not long before Jade. I can't remember her fucking name now, but the big buff woman that everyone thought was a man at first, or trans.
Oh, Hildren.
Hildren, yes.
I found the room.
One of my least favorite frames to play, by the way. Both because of the aesthetics and because her gameplay is fucking boring.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the gameplay style for her. And then, of course, people, there were people who be like, oh, is Warframe going woke? And I'm like, I don't know if Warframe was ever not woke, per se. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a big buff woman Warframe. The pregnant one is a little weird. I still think it's a little weird. The big buff female Warframe, fucking, like, whatever. Like...
It makes sense.
Yeah, the only thing that's weird about it to me is that she has the physique of a bodybuilder, and bodybuilders are not fighters. Like
No.
the physique for a bodybuilder versus an actual like warrior is usually pretty different. But it doesn't really matter. Like I don't. Again, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't care. I don't think that shit has anything to do with anything. To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But and let's be honest, and Jade's not really sexualized, so we can say that much at least. Jade's not really sexualized per se. I mean, the belly rubbing is weird. The belly rubbing reminds me of like fat fetishists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But she's not really particularly sexualized. I mean, none of the Warframes really are. The proto-frames get into that territory. I think particularly. Oh my god. I'm blanking on every Warframe name right now. Amelia Tyler's character.
Oh, Nyx, or Eleanor.
Eleanor, that's it. Eleanor, yeah. Because Nyx isn't sexualized. I mean, you could say maybe because she has boobs, but all female Warframes typically have boobs. But whatever. But she's not particularly sexualized. But like Eleanor certainly is. She's got a very like. No, Nyx is the psychic one. She's the one that like stops bullets and shit, and, like meditates. And the actual character Eleanor is telepathic too, which is pretty cool. She speaks to you in your brain, which is great. And I feel is maybe potentially somewhat of a reference to Amelia Tyler playing the narrator in Baldur's Gate 3.
Maybe.
She's talking in your head the whole time. I that's my headcanon. I like that thought personally, but
I hadn't thought about it like that. That's cool.
it just came to me. I'm like, you know what? I think that's actually pretty good. Because there's a key card at the main desk. How you doing, Kiryu? You get on the floor, bitch. There we go. The fire one, Ember, her heirloom skin is kind of sexualized. She's definitely got some fucking curves.
Oh yeah, and also Valkyr's almost
Heirloom.
all of the heirloom skins.
All the
are
female
kind of
heirlooms are
sexualized.
definitely. I don't know if I can call the rhino heirloom sexualized because he's a stag beetle.
But he's got like abs and stuff.
He's built like a fucking steel mill. You know, that's absolutely the case. But he's like that in all his other skins too. To be fair, pretty much like. Because there's a key card in here as well. So I think we got 3 today. Unless the one you found was not the one at the main desk.
No, mine was on the a bench.
Oh, okay. So then we've got 4. Sick.
Sweet. Okay.
Oh. Whoop. Blitzed. Trying to remember what I was doing last in Warframe. What I need to do next. Oh, I was working on finishing my my affinities. I'm very close actually.
Nice.
But I also still have to get the I have to get the stuff for the new affinity abilities or focus school abilities. Yeah, that's it. Focus schools. Affinity is just experience. It's the captain. And good for him. Why does it feel like it's gone up like 4 degrees in here? Holy shit.
Jesus.
Probably just the light, but like I have a thermometer on my desk now, so I can actually track my room temperature. And it doesn't look like it's gone up. Could just be me.
Do you think we'll do divinity today?
Probably not.
Feel too warm?
Yeah. Die Erectus Orphis. My parents are out at my my niece's dance recital today.
Oh,
So that's kinda
nice.
neat. Yeah.
So she's not sick anymore?
She's fine now.
Okay.
It only lasted a day apparently. The fever. I don't know if it like went down really quick or anything like that. Like by the time she got to the emergency room, it only gone down like a degree, I think. So.
There will be.
Kiryu says, "I know I'm
accountability.
EP when I can't be asked to sit up to use my keyboard to type." That's fair. That's fair.
Mood.
That's like when I'm like
Mood.
just fucking burnt, you know, and I just can't. I just don't want to do anything, and I'm just like I don't want to play any games that require me to use mouse and keyboard, so I just do everything on controller. I only play games that are on controller. Like that was nice when I got Hades 1 for Christmas, and then I was just playing that because it's all controller, and really good. Hades, and then Cass got me Hades 2, and they're both very good games. I highly recommend them. I'm rotting in my chair. Me during the winter months when the winter depression kicks in.
It's so weird that like with me, I've had a track record of shit doing the opposite during like the summer months is when like I have like fucking really horrible mental health regression.
I wonder if
I don't
it's
know what it
an alteration in the amount of sunlight you're actually receiving. Like I don't know,
Potentially, yeah.
maybe you sit in the shade more because it's just so fucking hot where you live. I get really bad heartburn today. Holy fuck.
Oh my god. Did you eat your pills weird?
I didn't. My pill. I take my pill at like. I took my pill at like noon. So there's no way it'd be affecting me now, if I fucked it up. And yeah, I miss the cold too, Cutie. It's weird how much I like the cold, despite how much I like. Don't like how it makes me feel because it burns my throat. Well, with how cold it gets here, anyways, because we get like 20, 30 below.
Below freeze. Yeah.
Can you all choke on poison already? There you go. Oh, that's why it felt hotter. My fan turned
What?
off.
Oh, what the fuck?
I forgot to install my new fan. Yeah, my window fan just likes to stop working. Like the top
fuck?
rotor doesn't work at all anymore. Just can't get it to work.
Jesus.
And the bottom one will just randomly stop. And it doesn't like sputter out. It just fucking stops like instantaneously. So I think the motor's just fucking going. But my mom gave me another fan, and I'm gonna try it. I actually like put it up, and I totally forgot to before stream.
It's okay.
There we go. Someone asked me yesterday if I thought that a colorblind person would see Colorado as Otto.
Huh. That's good.
Pretty good.
That's funny.
Pretty good. I liked it.
What triggers the fucking nerve gas or the tear gas inside this room here?
What's that?
What triggers tear gas going off in this room?
I think it's random.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kiryu, you've been slacking. You haven't made enough builds lately.
Yeah, Mister, I have like 200 fucking builds in this game.
209 was the last count I heard.
God damn.
You can look at a trigger box if you want. Yeah, I mean, I haven't opened the file for this game for this level in a while. But I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet that it is tied to the trigger volume at the entrance of the level for when you spawn in. When it sets up the objectives, that's probably when it sets up whether or not there's going to be a tear gas thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they say, though? You should make love and not war, right? So instead of tear gas, they should have beer gas. Just get everybody drunk. That would stop riots.
Or the gay bomb.
Yeah. The fact that the gay bomb was a real research project from the U.S. military is fucking insane.
It's so stupid.
Like, if they had figured it out, like, we would have won the war on terror.
Totally. Then you turn Osama bin Laden gay, and then he gets so ashamed of himself, I guess, because it's like, you know, it's haram or whatever, so he kills himself. Boom.
The U.S. from the 50s to 80s was fucking crazy. Yeah, the Cold War did some weird shit to us. Well, and that was one of the things too, is like the way that that like innovation accelerated in the States. About basically, you know, somebody would you know, from a foreign power would spread misinformation saying they had developed some kind of super weapon of a certain kind, and so the U.S. would flip out and start researching into the same thing to try and outdo them,
Mm-hmm.
and they would outdo them in that field. But the truth was that that country never figured anything out in that field to begin with, and they were just lying. But we just still had the technology, so. Well, and it's like the classic, you know, strategy of when you are weak, appear strong. When you are strong, appear weak.
Mm-hmm. And we certainly wanted to appear like something.
Yep. Well, when you have a bunch of propaganda from foreign powers going around saying that they've developed some technology the U.S. couldn't even possibly dream of, it makes us look weak. So then we start scrambling to develop things that are actually real, and then we end up being strong because we actually figured it out. Where others hadn't. Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up today.
What?
I believe his name is Nightmare Eclipse. He's a guy that's he's basically a hacker. He's a hardcore hacker, man. And so what he does is he's a person that like tries to find security vulnerabilities in software and turn them in for bounties, because a lot of big software developers will have bounties for people to find bugs in their software that they can fix. So they'll give you money if you find a major security vulnerability. So interestingly, he found one in Windows 11. The thing is that Microsoft is corrupt and stupid, and we all hate them. So Microsoft claims that some of the things that Nightmare Eclipse has found aren't really bugs, because they don't consider admin access to the kernel to be a security boundary. If you don't know what that basically means you have like kernel level access to like fundamental drivers that are required for your computer to operate. And this Nightmare Eclipse guy just found a security flaw with TDM and BitLocker. TDM, by the way, or TPM, not TDM, TPM. TPM is Trusted Protection Module, which is a hardware security device that basically it's built into all modern motherboards. You are required to have one installed on your physically on your system in order to even run Windows 11. But he found a vulnerability that allows you to basically exploit Windows' recovery system to bypass the TPM entirely, and get open a shell, basically a PowerShell, with direct access to the Windows environment at its core.
Oh my god.
And the fun thing is that an easy way to counter such a thing would be to have a TPM plus pen environment, where you basically you set a pin that is required for the TPM module to actually even deliver an encrypted key for Windows to be able to boot in the first place. The thing is that he also found a security flaw that also allows you to bypass even having a TPM plus pen environment.
What the fuck?
That's huge. That is such a major security vulnerability that it's actually fucking dangerous. And Microsoft said, no, it's not really a security vulnerability, so we're not going to give you the bounty.
What?
Because it was they're like, oh, it's having kernel access to the or admin access to the kernel is not a security boundary. Fuck you.
What?
Mainly because it probably didn't want to pay out $250,000.
No, which is
because that's what it was
bullshit.
worth, I believe. So Nightmare Eclipse said, oh, okay, well, if it's not a big security flaw, then I'll just post it publicly on GitHub.
Ah ha ha ha.
To be fair, he didn't post the one that bypasses the pen as well. He just posted the one with the TPM bypass. And he was banned from GitHub. Because Microsoft owns GitHub now, by the way. So he posted it on GitLab, and he was banned from there as well.
Oh my lord.
Because you're posting a security flaw exploit, a security exploit on, publicly for people to use that could destroy Windows 11 users across the world. So you can't publish a security flaw, but we're not going to give you the bounty for the security flaw because we don't consider it a security flaw. What?
It's just so ass backwards.
And that's Microsoft. That's so classic Microsoft. And it happened. Yeah, it happened like a couple weeks ago. And now.
Oh, okay. So it's been happening.
Yeah. I just saw the video about it. It came out 3 days ago, and I just watched it today. But the funny thing is that Windows or Microsoft and Nvidia are on the verge of a major announcement that is coming out tomorrow. We don't know what it is yet. But given the track record of Jensen Huang and his garbage at Nvidia lately, it's likely to do with cloud computing and trying to shift everyone over to cloud computing, where you basically rent everything, own nothing, and are supposed to be happy.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that is tomorrow. I'll probably talk about it on stream if it's been announced by then. And I have a good understanding of what it means, because I might not right away, because they might use some fucking vague terminology that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I literally, so I had, before the current processor that I'm using, I had a 3900X from AMD. Loved that processor, it was great. But they found that there was a major security vulnerability in previous, in older generation AMD processors and some modern ones too. So they released an update for your BIOS that would fix that security vulnerability. Except my 3900X didn't get that, because it was just a bit too old, like a month too old or something like that. So I ended up like having issues with my computer, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna upgrade anyways because I don't want to deal with the security vulnerability. Not that it's going to necessarily become a problem, but I got a 9900X, and then I upgraded to Windows 11 because Cass was forced into Windows 11, and I knew people buying new PCs were going to be forced into it. And as an IT, I try to help my friends out with their computer problems, and if I don't know Windows 11, I won't be able to help them. And now there's a huge security flaw in that too, and I'm just like, okay, let me look at the Steam DMs you sent me here, Kiryu. It looks like it's basically triggering on when someone enters the volume and is a player, it can trigger the gas. But we don't know whether the gas trigger zone exists all the time, or if there's something that causes it to spawn specifically. Because there may be something that prevents it from even showing up, right? Like rolls a die and says, gas zone.
Well, that's cool because like I just was curious about that.
Yeah, there's probably something because the way that it like whenever you load into day 2 of Hoxton Breakout, there's basically a trigger volume right at the spawn where you spawn in that sets up all the logic for the entire level basically because there's so many random variables, right? So it sets up the things like it turns on the TV screens in the operations room. Before the level's even loaded, it has already randomized like the layout. But I don't know at what point in the loading of the level that the objectives are actually decided. Because if you don't get the objective at the security office, then it won't need to even roll for the trigger to appear for the gas, right? But to be fair, regardless of if you get that a specific objective, the area for each objective always spawns, just in a different spot every time, pretty much. Except for the director's office is always in the same spot. But the each objective will always spawn. It just you might not get that objective, which is what leads me to believe that the objectives might be randomized after the level is loaded. But I don't know. Yeah, it's like Kiryu says, I'd have to look into the code to know that for sure. Or well, you have to follow a bunch of trigger paths probably. There's just the way that triggers are done in Payday 2 is so convoluted. Like and I would argue needlessly so. I think there probably would be a better way to go about the game logic for how the game randomizes its heists. It's bad. I did the first time I experimented with game logic was back in Time Splitters 2 on GameCube, and because they had a level maker, and you can make mission like you can make your own custom missions, and so you had to do things with game logic, and that was basically just a flowchart, and it was really easy to visualize. I mean, obviously they're making it so that the end user can mess around with it. Somebody who's not experienced in game dev can mess around with it. But even having played around in like modding tools for more advanced games with more advanced modding tools, almost every developer does it better than Overkill. Sadly enough, I mean,
Unfortunately.
It's an older game. I'll give them a break, but it's like, fuck, man, I would rewrite the whole system if I were them personally, and they probably did for 3. But granted, I don't want to look into the code for 3. I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch 3.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with another raid on the DOJ. I hope my life is fixed soon.
Yeah, no more heat.
Well, just like anxiety and issues like that. Overkill code makes me want to shoot myself. Overkill code makes me wish they would overkill me. So yeah, tune in tomorrow for another raid, and we'll see you all then. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I accidentally pressed the...